Hi, hello, and namaste. Welcome back to our channel. Did you know that in India, 1 in every 5 individuals experiences symptoms of mental health issues? Today, we are tackling an essential topic, the rights of persons with mental illness and the responsibilities of the appropriate government. But before we dive deep, let's grasp the meaning of mental illness and mental health care. And yes, you guessed it correctly. India indeed has a law to address mental health care issues. Let's explore further. The term mental illness is defined under Section 2, Clause 1, Subclause S of the Mental Health Care Act 2017 as a substantial disorder of thinking, mood, perception, orientation, or memory that grossly impairs judgment, behavior, capacity to recognize reality, or ability to meet the ordinary demands of life. And the term mental health care is defined under Section 2, Clause 1, Subclause O of the Mental Health Care Act as an analysis and diagnosis of a person's mental condition and treatment as care and rehabilitation of such person for his mental illness or suspected mental illness. Now let's take a journey through the history. The journey of mental health legislation in India dates back to the British era. The first law, the Lunatic Removal Act 1851, was followed by several others, such as the Lunatic Supreme Courts Act 1858, the Lunatic District Courts Act 1858, the Indian Lunatic Asylum Act 1858, and the Military Lunatic Act 1877, including the Indian Lunacy Act 1912. However, these early laws focused more on regulating the transfer of British patients back to England, custodial care, than on human rights and treatment. The Indian Psychiatric Society suggested that the Indian Lunacy Act 1912 was inappropriate and subsequently helped to draft a mental health bill in 1950, and after 3 decades, the Mental Health Act 1987 was given presidential assent, which marked a significant shift towards emphasizing care and treatment over custody. However, criticisms arose regarding legal procedures, human rights, and rehabilitation. These criticisms led to the amendment of Mental Health Act 1987, which eventually culminated in the Mental Health Care Act 2017. This landmark legislation aims to ensure dignity, non-discrimination, and accessibility to mental health care services for all. Now let's explore the rights guaranteed under the Mental Health Care Act 2017. Right to access mental health care is given in Section 18. Right to community living is given in Section 19. Right to protection from cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment is dealt under Section 20. Right to equality and non-discrimination is dealt in Section 21. Right to information is dealt under Section 22. Right to confidentiality is dealt under Section 23. Right of restriction of release information in respect of mental illness is dealt under Section 24. Right to access medical records is dealt under Section 25. Right to personal contact and communication is given under Section 26. Right to legal aid is dealt under Section 27. And right to make complaints about deficiencies in provision of services is dealt under Section 28. And what about the responsibilities of the appropriate government? The responsibilities are: an appropriate government can be the central government, state government, a union territory having legislature, the government of that union territory. The government has to plan, design, and implement programs for the promotion of mental health and prevention of mental illness in the country. Also, wide publicity to be given regarding the provisions of this act through different modes. Further, government has to train concerned police officers or government officials for effective implementation of this act. In addition, government should also increase the manpower in mental health care. Further, training of all medical officers in public health care and prisons in management of emergency mental health care issues. Albeit, this act primarily revolves around implementation challenges and areas of improvement such as issues with accessibility and affordability of mental health care services, especially in rural and remote areas where resources are limited. The Act's procedures for admission, treatment, and discharge is being criticized for being overly complex and bureaucratic, potentially hindering timely access to care for individuals in need. The critics suggest that This act should place greater emphasis on preventive measures and early intervention strategies to address mental health issues before they escalate into more severe conditions. That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more insightful content and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for updates. Until next time, take care and keep learning.